if you suffer from jet lag fatigue every time you have to travel across the ocean and the continent like I was, watch this video where I'll show you how I did this time to avoid jet lag fatigue. And even so, I adjusted within 24 hours to the local time zone. Stick around and I will show you how. Hello viewers, I'm recording from Italy. I traveled during the winter of 2021 in the middle of the COVID pandemic, and I arrived here fresh and adjusted to the local time in 24 hours. Do you want to know how? Spoiler alert, I manage my energy. Stick around and I'll tell you how. Hi, my name is Lily Lay and I'm a physician. In this channel, I'm going to show you how to heal without medicine step by step. You will rightfully ask, what's the jet lag fatigue have to do with healing without medicine? Traveling is a major expenditure of energy. You have to have a very good reserve of energy in your body to be able to make the shift to the time zone of your destination. Otherwise, your health may be affected in a foreign country and ruin your trip experience. Jet lag fatigue is not only the feeling of zombie-ness, brain fog, and poor memory. It also can be manifested as bellyache, headache, nausea and vomiting, even constipation, and or back pain or any kind of joint pain, or exaggeration or exacerbation of any previous symptoms that your body may have within the 24 or 48 hours of arrival. Therefore, avoiding jet lag fatigue is another way to heal without medicine when you're traveling across the oceans and the continent. Let me show you what I did to arrive in Italy fresh and with energy and enjoying every minute of it, even savoring their delicious dishes. This is a segue of my last video, which I suggest you to watch it first. 8 tips to avoid jet lag fatigue. These were the tips that I applied in this video. You can click somewhere here where it appears the title of that last video, or if you cannot find it, click on the link in the description box below. To arrive fresh and adjust within 24 hours to your destination zone, this is what I did. 3 things. First, I prepare before the trip. 2, I perform acupressure in the airplane. And 3, I adjusted my mindset upon arrival. So let me explain more. Preparation during the trip. This is the most important part for a successful adjustment to your destination zone. And this is where I'm going to spend more time explaining. So how did I prepare? First, I selected a good flight, and 2, I prepare my body. How did I select a good flight? A good flight for me is the one that I'm able to rest so I can arrive very fresh to my destination zone. This time I was departing from JFK, from New York City to Milan. Therefore, I chose the red-eye flight. Why? Because I can sleep in the airplane and arrive during daytime, allow me a couple of hours to be active and tire me out a little bit so I can go to sleep at the local time. So the flight that I chose, and you can look at the schedule here, it departed at 12:30 midnight, 30 minutes past midnight, and arriving at the other side in 7 hours. It was a 7-hour flight, so I arrived at 1:30 p.m. in Milan. Second part of my preparation is that I changed my diet I make sure to rest well, hydrate myself, and add supplements and vitamins. Let me explain more. Personally, I do not consume too much processed carb. Therefore, that was not a problem for me. So what I did, I pursue a vegan diet, an Asian vegan diet, 3 weeks before the departure time. So I make sure to just cut out any sugar and any pasta. I decrease my rice. I do not suggest you to cut it out cold turkey, because you're going to have some health consequences. But I would suggest you to begin reducing little by little. In my past video, I explain it well. But suffice to say that reducing any kind of carbohydrate as little as possible, it makes a difference in your body. Why? Because the carbohydrate reduces the production of the natural energy that give you vitality. Okay, so 3 weeks before the departure time, I begin switching my diet. Number 2, I raise my body's energy. How? You can do it either through the practice of medical Qigong, which I'm an instructor, and what it does, it raises your energy through meditation. In the future, I'm going to just make a video explaining about that. And if you're not practicing the medical Qigong, you can just increase or raise your energy by increasing 25% of your exercise routine. For example, I normally bicycle twice a week for 20 minutes. In this case, I added another day, so I was bicycle 3 times a week for 30 minutes. Number 3, I make sure I hydrated myself, but I began 3 days before the departure time. And I do not count the number of glasses of water that I drink. What I do, I make sure that my lips are moist, and or I check my toilet bowl for a clear urine. Number 4, I make sure 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the trip that I'm sleeping good nights. And how did I do that? Well, I make sure to take melatonin. Personally, I was taking 1 milligram of a combination of a short time melatonin with longer time. And this is the one that really provide me a very restful night. And number 5, I took supplements and vitamins. I have to confess, I'm not a person that takes vitamins or supplements, but because I was traveling in the winter of 2020 with the COVID pandemic, I needed to prop up my immune system. So what I took vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, quercetin. During the trip in the airplane, I did 2 things. 1, acupressure, and I make sure I sleep well. So let's go to the acupressure. What is this acupressure? And what it does is help the body adjust to the local time. You just rub, as soon as you get on the airplane, rub on key points of your hands and wrists. So I will make a video. The next video will be about how to perform acupressure to avoid jet lag fatigue. So you know what to do. Subscribe so you can be alerted for when that video releases. And also in that video, I'm going to include for free a chart where it tells you how to perform the acupuncture and at what time. And number 2, I make sure that I sleep in the airplane. And what did I do? Well, after I perform my acupressure and after the dinner, I feel sleepy, but I make sure to take a melatonin so I could have a deeper sleep. And in fact, I slept the 6 hours. The whole trip lasted 7 hours, and which I slept 6 hours of it. So that was enough for me to be rested. And finally, upon arrival, you have to adjust your mindset to the local time. What does that mean? It's like you just follow what the local people do. If they're gonna eat lunch, you eat lunch. If they're just gonna have dinner, have dinner. And if they're going to sleep, you go to sleep. So waking up the next morning at sunrise means that your body has successfully adjusted to the local time zone. In my case, I arrived at 1:30 p.m. So what I did is arrive to my accommodation and go out and walk leisurely without crowding your schedule, and then have dinner at the same hour. And by 8:39, I was sleepy, and I make sure to take my melatonin, 1 milligram, and I went to bed at 9:30. Next morning, I woke up at 5:30 a.m. And for me, that's success, because that means that my body sort of adjusted locally to wake up at their time, and that was a success. Do you have any tips to avoid jet lag fatigue? Let me know, I would like to hear. And remember to subscribe so you can be alerted for the next video, which is how to avoid jet lag with acupressure. I'm going to be explaining how I perform that acupressure. So click the subscribe button.